Nice cry, very nice cry. We were in the middle of discussion, and me and my partners in my various several businesses, and then we have one NGO, Outpay Sports Foundation, and we adopt kids from slums and we teach them boxing. One child has reached Inspire Institute. He's preparing for Olympic 2028, and we have more than 13 state medals. Please, usko off karna. 13 state medals and 3 nationals. So we are doing good. We are going. This Outplay Sports Foundation is doing good. But the problem with this Outplay Sports Foundation is that, not the problem by the way, is we are 7 directors and all 7 are friends, and then we fight a lot, and sometimes we fight very badly, and then we get triggered. And today I got so angry, so wild, anger. Because whenever you get an opportunity to pour out your anger is there. I got my anger from my father. Anger is not bad, by the way. As I told you, anything which is given to us by nature is not bad. Is not bad. Tears, you can see. I never wipe my tears. Even if I am standing in front of 10,000 people and if I cry, or I'm watching an Indian Idol and if I cry, I will never wipe, because like we smile, we have tears. Like we smile, we have tears, right? So, a very loud fight. थोड़ा सा आवाज़ कम करोगे उस स्पीकर का जाके प्लीज़. थोड़ा सा बीट्स है ना, तो बीट्स पकड़ेगा इसके अंदर. नॉर्मल गाना होता या तो गाना स्लो कर दो, बीट्स वाला मत लगा देना. So, coming back, today after the fight, listen very carefully. That's the reason I asked them to slow down the beats. Yeah, listen very carefully, after the fight, the length of the fight was almost for 40-45 minutes, right? There was a dispute on something, and then suddenly that dispute took a shape of a conversation, then debate, and then fight. First conversation, further dispute. If there's no dispute, there's no conversation. Especially at work. If everything is happening as per expectation in the work, then there's no conversation is required. Then there's no watching is required. That's the best thing that can happen with an entrepreneur, that everything is happening in my company as per my expectations, right? So there was a debate, and that debate got like we were face to face, and I will show who he is. But face to face, and oh my god. And then 2 more directors were sitting there. They're also directors in Outplay Sports Foundation, but we all are friends. Outplay Sports Foundation is a seed we got during COVID. So during COVID time, when I used to come from Himalayas to Mumbai, there were almost 3 times in 3 years where I came to to Mumbai, 3 times. And then I used to stay here for maybe 10 to 15 days, then again go back to Himalayas. And most of the time I used to come here to meet Dolly and Arnav, right? And second year, Ziki was here. But third year, Ziki my dog, third year I took Ziki to Himalayas. So that was a synopsis. So every time when I used to come here, we used to chill here before COVID. So we know each other for 7 to 8 years. And as I told you, when friends who are 7 to 8 years old friends, they have deep memory of fighting, so we don't hesitate to fight. But when you get triggered, the other person, he has not understood this. That's the reason I decided to make this video. My other friend, Praveen, his name is also Praveen Churmure, and as soon as fight were taking a very bad shape and about to go one step in physical, right? Yeah, physical, yeah. Because you go from here, then I say you go from here, it has reached that level also, right? It has reached that level, then move out from this space. Just move out, get lost. So even if you are saying get lost, then I have all the responsibility and opportunity and the freedom of saying you get lost from this space. So when I space, maybe a 1 square feet, my area, don't enter in my area. This I learned in Himalayas. So don't enter in my area. Keep shanti. So the first thing, there are only 2 things I did to handle this. First thing I did, I decided to move out from that space. Just a bit, 2 steps away. So we were sitting on the boxing ring. I will show you where we were sitting. Yeah. So the guy who is sitting, the guy who is facing the back is Praveen Churmure, and he's nice. He has a Palghar run. We all are in sports. Sailesh is an international boxer. Nitesh is an event manager. He handles events of even Salman Khan's sister's wedding was done by him, managed by him. Or even not wedding, birthday was managed by him. Okay, come back to this point. So, very bad fight. So I decided to move from the space, sat down, just on the same ring, other corner. And it took me only 1 minute to realize this. Now listen to this story very carefully. You will understand what I realized within 1 minute. And within 1 minute now we are friends again. Within 1 minute we are friends again. Again. It took me only 1 minute. Listen very carefully, each and every word. Even if you miss one word, you will lose the track. It took me only one word to resolve the conflict, which is the conflict in the directors of Outplay Sports Foundation, which is a well-respected. We work very closely with government. We have more than, this Outplay Sports Foundation has more than 6 centers in Mumbai. They have trained thousands of kids in boxing. As I told you, the child is reaching Olympic because of Outplay Sports Foundation. Though we are 7 directors, but we are friends. So we fight. Every day we fight. Friends fight. We work. We fight only for one thing. How can we save time and money so we can be more productive? So if something is taking too much of time, it irritates me. That's my trigger. If you are meeting me and if you are taking my time, it irritates me. That's the reason I have decided to speak only from kids 8 to 18. That's it. If I'm speaking, because 8 to 18 kids, they will never take time. They will always teach me something because they are pure. They're pure energy. Most of them, not all. Pure energy. So, coming back to that boxing corner. So within 1 minute, what I did, I realized that. I remember one day I was traveling in the bus and the bus driver came and we came inside the bus. It was a sleeper bus and we were going to Palghar, Praveen's place. There was a Palghar run, mountain run. And we all were going there and we were chilling, all chilling. And the bus driver came and they said, you can't talk like this. It's like you guys, 2 people are sitting on one seat. It's a sleeper seat, right? Sleeper, not the normal seat, sleeper. So on the sleeper, you can sit 2 people. So I said, yeah, it's possible. It's like we don't want to sleep now. It's not even the night. It's hardly 5 a.m. or 6 p.m. now. 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. It's not even the night. We will love to see that. We will love to spend good time. We will love to chill. We will love to talk. We are not breaking any laws. We are not smoking or we are not drinking here. We are just chilling. We are just talking. Okay, in the middle of the conversation, we may have a laughter, which I don't know why the world has lost it. When was the last time you had a laughter? When you laughed? Or world has lost the cry. When was the last time you had a happy cry? You cry. We are taking the water outside, the way you sweat, you cry. So every time when I cry, I make sure that I keep my bottle with me. So if I cry, if I'm taking the water out, let me refill the water. That's the only relationship with this fucking water, nothing else. That's it. With water is my relationship is sister, but with tears, the whole logic of that tear, that don't cry, crying is not good, crying is not nice. Why you're crying like a girl? That fucking concept of tear, I surrender that concept in 3 years or in 1,000 days in Himalayas. One of the best cries I had when I was just taking down in the river, very slow water moving, and my tears is flowing in the water. So water is going in the water and I'm playing with the sister. I'm playing with my sister. That's cry. That's a nice cry. You feel so happy. I remember when I was confused about crying, I called my friend Venkat Rao. Venkat Rao was he's a very good friend of mine. He's expert in breathing, but he's the same guy who was the part of the team who founded JavaScript in California. So Venkat is a very close friend of mine. He's an amazing person. So he taught me breathing. So I remember calling him. I said, hey Venkat, I'm crying a lot. Venkat, what should I do? And because it has been told to me, crying is bad. I'm crying in the bus. I travel so, and when I say bus, I'm talking about Himachal Pradesh bus. It's like a small bus, very small. In mountains we have small buses, and then I'm taking my head outside, slightly outside, not risking anything, and then the air is coming in, and then this water is flowing with the air. I'm still not able to build a relationship with air though. Like the relationship with stone is. A relationship of brother. So if I'm walking on the mountain and if I'm just walking, and if there is, I just slip, then I will say, hey, not your brother. Because when you are alone in the mountain, you build relationship with the nature. It has been told to us that we have to build relationship only with human beings. No, not necessarily. We can also build relationship with nature, with stones, with river, with clouds, with lightning, with tree, with stars, with moons, with sun, with universe. Human beings are not the only thing which are available to human beings. I repeat, human beings are not the only subject available to human beings to build relationship. Anything which is built by the nature, you have to build relationship. You understand that when you spend time in Himalayas. Because Himalaya is full of nature, right? Okay, coming back to that. It took me 1 minute to resolve it. Because my relationship with tear is, okay, oh my God, this fucking stored water since many years. Because many years ago, something happened in my life and I was supposed to cry, but I didn't cry because it was told to me, don't cry. Don't cry. So all that water, what I believe is accumulated inside my body, and it's a stale water. If we have a stale water at the center, the BMC will come and will punish us. We have to pay fine, right? But what about the stale water inside your body? What about the stale water inside your body? What about all those fucking cries which you didn't cry only because the society said to you that don't cry? Your mother said, don't cry. Since childhood, my mother said, please don't cry, please don't cry, please don't cry. Since childhood, my mother always said to my big brother, make sure that he is not crying. Fucking, if the child is coming on the planet Earth with a cry, how can that be a wrong thing? How? I don't understand. And if I don't understand, I don't accept. If I don't understand, why should I accept? Yeah? If I don't understand, I don't accept. So I don't accept the whole fucking culture of crying. Yeah, I love my tears. So moment I realized this, within 1 minute I went and I just hugged Praveen Chorur and I said, hey Praveen, listen brother. I got my anger from my dad. Why? Because my dad is a very nice person, very good person, but an angry person. Since childhood, my mother always said this to me, that make sure you are disciplined, otherwise I will tell to your dad. I'm among those kids, is like if you're playing on the road and if you see your dad coming from the distance, you will leave everything and run and open the book. Doesn't matter if the book is reversed. I'm that child, right? So I'm that scared of my dad. So since childhood, the way I accumulated, or the way you accumulated tear, I accumulated anger. So every time when I was supposed to shout, because I have to make my point. The only problem today was we were discussing something on 30 minutes, which we can do in 2 minutes, or 1 minute rather. 1 minute. So my pain is that why should I spend my 29 minutes on something which is not making any sense? It's nonsense. So I shout. You want to get physical? I will get physical. I will not break the law. But I shout. भैया जी, महेश जी, जरा यहाँ वीडियो चालू तो बंद करेंगे प्लीज वो आपको? थोड़ा सा अकल आप लगा सकते हो? नहीं? हमें समझदार नहीं बनना, हमें सिर्फ देखना है कि आजू बाजू क्या चल रहा है. मैं देख रहा हूँ, बात कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, आप वहाँ पे रील्स देख रहे हो. ऐसा क्या ही है रील्स पे? वहाँ पे क्या ही देख लिया आपने रील्स में? वहाँ पे या तो बाहर जाइए आप. रील अगर इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है आपको तो बाहर जाइए, देखिए, दिन भर रील्स देखिए. हर 30 सेकंड में डिसाइड कीजिए कि नया मिलना चाहिए ब्रेन को, ताकि ब्रेन एंड ऑफ द डे पागल हो जाए कि क्या मिला पता ही लगा नहीं आज रील्स में. कभी पॉलिटिक्स देखो, कभी सेक्स देख लो, कभी एजुकेशन देख लो, कभी देख लो कि कौन सा बाबा क्या बोल रहा है. पूरा ऐसा रील देखो दिन भर ना आज कि ऐसा लगे कि क्या कर रहा हूं मेरे लाइफ में मैं आज. सो कमिंग बैक, आई शाउट. देयर इज नो सेंस. Doesn't matter who is sitting, or if I have to make a point, I have to make a point. Because if you tell them with the smile, I did several times. There's a rule here that if the conference is going on here, you can't come here, sit here and chill. From the same studio, this is a studio we have. From the same studio, we actually do online boxing here. So there's a rule here. If you're not following the rule, there is no logic. You don't follow the rule, there's no logic. I have to shout. It's not that you're not aware about it. It's just like in one company, sometimes the CEO is very, very angry on something which people have done, and the people say, hey, fucker, you have never told us. You never told us this is not the decision. You never told us that this is not allowed. You're getting a point. So I went and within 1 minute I hugged and I said this in his ears. Even Sailesh and Nitish will not able to understand because they were not listening to it. So I said, see brother, I have accumulated a lot of anger and tears like many other people. Many people have accumulated anger, tear, pain. They don't speak about it. They don't talk about it. But what I've realized in 1000 days in Himalayas, that anger and tear cannot be wrong, because even dogs bark, but even tigers bark. Even elephant do. Even birds chirp. When they're angry, the intensity is high. When they are soft, the intensity is low. All the dogs on the planet Earth, they talk without the language. Without the language. We are the only animal on the planet Earth who use ABCD to speak. But all the other animals on the planet Earth, they just talk eyes to eyes. You can see anger in the eyes. You can see peace in the eyes. You can see silence in the eyes. In Himalayas, when people from outside they come, especially from Israel, they read eyes. I've seen so many people, the 7 to 8 people are sitting together from other countries and they are talking so softly, eyes to eyes. Oh my God. And I feel, when was the last time I have seen 5 Indians sitting together like this and talking so softly? Or when was the last time I have seen 5 Nepalis sitting like this, or Sri Lankans sitting like this? Why the culture of communication, especially in this part of the world, is we always shout. Shouting is important, but not necessarily when it is required. Only that time. Only that time. There's so many things in communication. My trigger here was that he was talking, and I said, hey, please wait, listen. And that was taking time. So there were triggers. There were many triggers. And then I cried. I fought, I went, I sat, I cried, I got up, I hugged. While crying, I said to him, Praveen, listen, I have accumulated anger in me. I have accumulated tear in me. Unfortunately, I don't have, apart from my friends in my life, or fortunately, I have fucking friends in my life. In front of them, I can cry and shout. And I know they are friends. We will fight whole day and we will work and sit in the night again. That's friends, right? That's friends. So I'm happy that I'm surrounded by good people in my life. I'm surrounded by good friends in my life. And we are ensuring that within our capacity, we are productive. Kan se aur shan se. Kan se matlab, whatever real estate you have in your life, every real estate should make money. I've seen in Himalayas, there was one guy, he said, mere paas 100 canal jagah hai. 100 canal. The unit in Himalaya is canal. 100 canal jagah hai. Pahad mein. And someone asked, the friend asked, how much money you are making from that? So every night when that guy is sleeping, that I have this amount of land, if it is not making the money, it's a pain in your back. So if you have a land, if you have a real estate, doesn't matter, digital real estate or real estate. Even digital real estate, your website is a digital real estate. It's a real estate. So moment you have that, it's your responsibility. Kan se. Or shan se matlab, every moment should give you money. Money is the only validation that you are doing good work. There was a guy sitting with me, I was in the train and he was playing a guitar and I said, hey, nice. He said, yes, I'm a good guitarist. I said, have you played outside? He said, no, I've never played outside. I said, why? You should go and you should play. He said, no, I will not. Why? I just want to play alone. I said, how do you validate, fucker? Everything created by human beings happened just in 50,000 years. If you are using a tool created by human beings, only human beings will validate whether you are doing it good or not. And the only way of validation is money. Money. If even 50 rupees people, 100 rupees people are paying for your guitar, I can understand. Give me a full house, then tell that you are a good guitarist. Don't live under illusion. Doesn't make any sense. So, next time if you have a conflict, only 2 steps. First, leave the space. Doesn't mean you have to open the door and go out. Leave the space. Your space is this much. That's it. 1 square feet. Leave the space. Go out. Be visible to them. You have not left, you have not fled. Bhaga nahi hai koi. No one has ran, right? We are just moving the space. There's nothing called ran or ran, he has ran away. The first time I ran away in my life when I was in 9th standard from Nasik to Mumbai. Even that was not a ran, that was the best 3 days in my life, but I've learned someday or some other day, not today. What happened in those 3 days? I can give you details of step by step what happened in those 3 days. And you will understand that, okay, so this is how humans behave. Okay? Thanks, brother. So, juice de do mujhe koi ek. Koi bhi ek juice de do. Thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as a man, next time when you have conflict in your life, it should take only 1 minute to resolve that conflict. First, leave the space. Second, if you're crying, cry. People won't understand. Cry alone. I cry in front of them because I have decided that no, I will never wipe my tears. If I cry, I cry. The way I smile, I cry. So, next time, if you want to cry, go and cry. Unnecessary people won't understand the importance of crying. They will connect you. You're crying means you're giving up. You're weak. No, not at all. Nothing to do with. So when you laugh, you're good. You're strong, isn't it? Come on. Crying and laughing is a manifestation of two different spectrum of one emotion. When you have a very big laughter, or when you have a very nice cry where the water is flowing with the water, or water is flowing with the air, and you're enjoying that cry, and you are just emptying that whole stored, stale water from your body, giving outside, throwing outside in the nature, ensuring that the circulation is going on. Cry. Have a nice cry. And then go back and hug that person. 1 minute. Cry for 10 minutes, but go back and hug that person. Nothing more healing than hug. And even if that person, but that's a problem now. The problem is that imagine, okay, in my team, hugging is very common. One thing which I've learned in Himalayas is that irrespective of your gender. Irrespective of your gender. And earlier the kids, I remember that day I was sitting with three boys. There was in Chembur tournament, and it was a tournament, so I got an opportunity to meet kids and boxers. Because tournament is a different, like every day they come here, but tournament is a different thing. So we were chilling, and three boys, one was 13 years old, one was 11 years old, one was 7 years old. Om was 7, right? And I asked, we were in the middle of the discussion that, okay, what we have learned today, tell me. And Om said something else, very nice. And Om actually lost the match. He was just 8-9 years old, but he lost the match. Nice boxer. I will introduce Om to you after some time. So I said, Om, give me a hug. And he gave me a hug. But then I spoke to a 13-year-old boy, and then I spoke to him and I said, give me a hug. I said, no, I don't want to give you a hug. I don't want to give you a hug. I said, you're fucking 13 years old. What kind of relationship with you have hugging? Who told you? I said, when was the last time someone gave hug to you? He said, no one hugged me yet. I said, what kind of parents you have? Your parents are just like my parents. My parents never hugged me. That doesn't mean they're bad. No, they are good. Their mindset is like that. No one hugged them. No one hugged them. They are just output of the culture. There's nothing called guilty. Guilty is the concept, is not the truth. Guilty is not anger. Guilty is the concept. I remember I was in Himalayas, I met a guy, he was traveling with 3 dogs, 3 ropes, 3 dogs. I said, hey, nice. Since how long you are traveling? Where are you from? Tell me, please teach me something. And he said something so beautiful. So beautiful. He said, Praveen, can you see this dog out of 3? Female. I said, yeah, I can. She lost kids. We were in the middle of the jungle. We started the journey from Bangalore. He was a child of army man and traveler, but along with the dogs. And these 3 dogs were his pets. So when he started traveling, like I'm traveling with 2 dogs, Ziki and Lisa, right? Ziki, I'm traveling with 2 dogs. So within my capacity, whenever I travel, even to Himalayas, I took Zuki by car. So I'm traveling with 2. So he was traveling with 3 dogs. I said, tell me what you have learned from these 3 dogs. Tell me what you have learned. And he said, what I have learned is guilt. Guilt is not there in dogs. She lost the kids And within 24 hours, she was back to life. So they don't feel guilty. I said, okay. After many years ago, after a few months, after that incident, after a few months, I was in Dharamshala, Upper Baksu, and there was cafe Rakus. Behind Rakus, I was staying in Dome, and there was 2 dogs there. And I remember traveling, I remember walking with those dogs. I remember, okay, these dogs are good. They know me, I've seen them. So these 2 dogs, unfortunately, the owner of that cafe, nice person, used to keep them on the terrace whole day. And he used to bring them down sometimes. But unfortunately, one day, there was a delay of releasing them. And they were whole day on the terrace, so they were stressed. And they came down, and the dog was standing, and I just touched the dog, assuming that, okay, I know him. But he was so angry, he just had a bad bite, very bad dog bite, deep. My fortune was that he didn't twist his teeth, because when you have a dog bite, you will have dog bite like this, like this, because their teeth are distanced, like not like snake bite. Snake bite is different. Snake bite is beautiful. Snake bite, like 2% snakes are hardly poisonous. So snake bite should not be the major worry, unless and until it's like you get the lottery of 2% and then your snake is a poisonous snake. But it all depends upon how you manage your space, how careful you are. But snakes are beautiful. Okay, come back to this point again. Let me cut down all the conversation, and they're waiting for me now. The reason I decided to, I will continue the story afterwards, but the reason I decided to make this particular video is conflict takes time. I've seen people, because of one conflict, they are not speaking with each other for years. I've seen people, I've witnessed them, I've experienced them, I've seen them. It takes time, but. And during that time, from point A to point B, listen very carefully, there are few last words, and then I'm releasing this. From point A to point B, time, not space, right? Because we will move in the space afterwards. But from time A, the conflict, from the time of conflict till the time we resolve the conflict, during that time, you have unnecessary negative thoughts in your mind. And what I have realized and understood in Himalayas is that no matter what, negativity is not required. I want to stay surrounded, and I want to have either no thoughts in my mind. If at all they are coming, they are welcome. If at all they are coming, they are welcome. But the thoughts will come only when they are triggers. Now, there are only 2 pathways for trigger, either your eyes or your memory cells. Either your eyes or memory cells. Only 2 pathways. So I don't want any long painful memory in my life now, which unnecessarily will become trigger in my life. Imagine I'm sitting alone somewhere and there's nothing in front of me, it's all black, dark, and I'm not feeling sleepy. I have to access my memory only that point of time, because there's no trigger in front of my eyes. Am I making sense here? Just type yes in the chat box if I'm making sense here. If you are really understanding we are on the same page, right? Just type yes whenever you are listening. Whenever you are listening, doesn't matter whether you are listening now or not, but am I making sense? Just type yes. That will ensure that we are talking on the same page. So, conflict will take time. From point A to point B, unnecessarily you are busy in your mind thinking that. Imagine in that last dark night, I don't want to remember this. I want to remember this, that how as a student of communication, and how as a good person, because I know I'm a good person. You don't have to tell me. Someone doesn't have to tell me that I'm a good person here. Come on, I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel sad about it, because if I think that I'm a good person and it's my pride, it's just like someone working in a government and she says that I don't take bribe, I don't take bribe. Fucking, it's your responsibility to not to take bribe. So it's my responsibility to become a good person in my life. So I have become a good person by healing myself. I know I'm a good person. Okay. This is Pranava signing out. Until we meet again.